Welcome to Tamiya Legends, thanks for stopping by once again. This is part one of our next 2018 build, which is the Lunchbox. Let's just have a quick look at the car. This is with doubt my favourite Tamiya monster truck out of all of them. If you look at all the factors of an RC truck, and you'll look, as I say, you look at every factor: performance, durability, fun, price. You know, this wins it outright for me. And don't get me wrong, I love Tamiya's other monster trucks, but the Lunchbox for me is number one. It's just such a fun buggy truck to mess around with, and I also think the looks of it are absolutely spot on. So I've built many of these over the years. This is obviously the re version, so let's have a look at how and what we're going to do slightly differently. So on this particular build, we're going to do it in old school way again. So we're going to be using the lovely Techniplus 2-channel radio gear. We're also going to be putting in the 3-step manual speed controller. So obviously the radio gear, that'll mean 2 servos, receiver, and the motor of choice for this is the lovely sport tuned, which I think is plenty fast enough for a Lunchbox. We're going to be doing a couple of cool things with the body shell as well. So when this truck's finished, it's going to it's going to run, and more importantly for me, it's going to look very, very close to the original, which is kind of important for me because that's kind of my thing. I enjoy doing that. It would be dead easy to stick an electronic speed controller in this. Less hassle, less servo and all that, but I really do enjoy the feel of a 3-step. Obviously we're not using hot motors, so this thing is fine. What this gives you that the electronic speed controllers don't give you is you can slam this thing straight into reverse, so you can be going flat out forward, bang it straight into reverse. Your wheels are going to lock up and then they're going to spin, and it does all freaky things with the buggy. It's awesome. You don't get that with the electronic speed controllers now. You slam it in reverse and it becomes a brake. So that's why I favour these for trucks like this. As I say, I'm also it's going to look, but I'm going to go into the looks of it in the second video when we do the shell. So in this part 1 video, I'm going to do it in time lapse, and we're going to build the whole buggy up. Obviously, we're fitting all the electronics in right through to getting it working. I'll do it in time lapse, and so before we start, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the plastics out, and I'm going to take them all off the trees. And I'm going to take all the plastic knobbles off, so all the plastic work's ready to go, and then we'll go into time-lapse mode. So before we go into the slow-mo footage of me building it, I've had to do a few things as the picture showed. So I've taken all the plastic off the trees, I've trimmed all of it. Believe it or not, that actually took about 15 minutes. It's amazing how much time goes into that process. I would just like to say straight out that that's not a good practice way of building a Tamiya kit if you're quite new to them. It's very important that you leave the plastics on the marked up trees because they all have an alphabetical number that match the instructions. It's just that I've built a shed load of these in the past, and I don't really need to do that, and I've only done this to save time when the slow-mo starts. But just to bring you up to speed on what I've had to do first, I had to first of all neutralise all the servos, power the radio gear up, so I've done that. Recentered the steering servo, the servo horn's all now in, and it's fitted to the chassis. The body mounts are on. And the next stage is now I'll start going into slow-mo, but I just wanted to show you this because this is what I love about Tamiya, these 2 plastic bits here. These come as standard with the kit, and these are actually the original mountings mouldings for your extra steering, your extra throttle servo and the bracket for the 3-step speed controller. A lot of people just have these left over and I'll have no idea what they were for, but obviously I'm going to use them. So because what I'm going to do first is get the radio gear in. So basically this thing here is where this bracket goes onto, and that just sits across there with one bolt through the middle from the underneath of the chassis, and that's what your 3-speed manual speed controller sits on, which is pretty cool. That's one servo mount, and the other one's here, and obviously again this is never used in the modern cars, but it comes with this, which is a little servo. It's quite difficult to see actually. Let me see if I can just sit it in position. So I'll take this one out and we'll just sit it in. That's kind of roughly. So as you can see, that's your second servo mount. Servo sits in between here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the servo, bolt these down, these new 2 brackets in, and bolt it down, get the speedo in the chassis with the servo, and then we'll go from there. This is where my nerdiness comes out for my love of Tamiya when I do things like this. So this is the manual speed controller bracket that's bolted down now, and that just sits on top. And on this side we've got the extra servo mountings in, so that one's moulded onto the chassis. This is the extra bracket you get, and if you can see, it slides. It just slides on the chassis for different size servos. If you're seeing that. So we'll get the servo in place. Next job. Right, that's the radio gear all in. It took a lot longer than I thought it was going to do, but it's all in. I've sort of sorted the wiring out the best I can because it's just a chassis at the moment. But steering's in, if you can see. It's okay, and only problem I've got with this is this arm's too long, and I'm struggling to make it shorter. So it works. It works. We've got that's forward, so we've got all 3 speeds in forward, but we're only hitting 1 and 2 in reverse. Now actually that's not a massive issue for me. If I can get this arm back off and try bend it a little bit, I will do, but we'll just have to see, because I just haven't got any wire, and this stuff's quite difficult to shape unless I can get some softer stuff. But anyway, that's that bit done, so as I say, I'm chuffed with that. We've gone nice and old school. Extra servo, manual speed controller, resistor mounts in. So alright, let's get cracking. Right, that's the gearbox assembly done. Obviously sport tune motor and pinion fitted into the gearbox, all the gears, nylon gears in there, greased, wheelie bars on with little wheel at the bottom, pivot mounts are on for the rear shocks, and can't move the motor, but obviously you can move the diff, and feels nice and smooth. So let's bat on with the next bit. Right, that's the chassis done. That was an enjoyable build. I like the Lunchbox, it's very simple. Trickiest bits on it are the shots, getting these rods into the arms when they're on, but it's not that tricky. I'll just give it a little blast around here, just to make sure everything was in the right direction and what have you. And it is. Also, I don't like this noise, listen. That's these screws banging off this plastic. So I've had a look in instructions and I would have thought it would have been something to dampen that, but it doesn't seem to be. Anyway, I might just put a little bit of foam because I don't like that noise that it makes. But yeah, awesome. My wires on the motor were touching the tyres, so I had to bend these tabs over gently. Because I'm using the manual speed controller, the electronic wires are supposed to come over and through this hole, and then these wires are supposed to come through. But I can't do that, they're just not long enough. But that's fine. Obviously the body shell comes down to here, so it'll cover most of that. So let's just stick the shell on very quickly. Just put the shell on very quickly, just so you get a kind of look at it. Obviously there's no chrome on it or anything. But it's, yeah, that's it, ready to go. I love the look of a Lunchbox. I think it's an awesome looking truck. I just think it's, from almost every angle, it just looks super cool. Pogo I can't even say it. Pogo sticks for shocks. But it bounces around lovely, to be honest. Obviously, yeah, you get that droop of the front wheels when it's wheeling and jumping. It's just a really iconic look, I love it. When it's on the shelf, just settle it down and make it look straight, and it sits lovely, it really does. So again guys, that's the end of part 1 video. Part 2 is going to be the shell, where we're going to, obviously now we've got the insides as it should have been back in the day, and now we're going to make the shell as it should have been back in the day. So as I say, thanks for watching guys, and please stay tuned for part 2. If you're new to this channel, maybe you could consider liking and subscribing to support us, and we'll see you next time. Happy RCing.